We are back. Season 4 of the MML. Season 3 only finished like a month ago, so it's super exciting that we're back with the Indigo Disc DLC. And in today's video, I'm going to do a quick draft breakdown, going through all the mons I picked, why I picked them, and yeah, it should be fun. So let's get stuck into it. So I got 3rd overall pick in the draft, which is super lucky. I was so happy to get that. And as you can see on your screen, I got Gouging Fire. There were mons on the board like Dragapult, like Darkrai, and I was considering my options, but ultimately decided to go with Gouging Fire. A, because this is one of the new mons, the new Paradox mons introduced, and I just want to try it. It looks so fun. Its design is epic, so I really just want to give it a try. I know it's super good in OU. I'm not sure necessarily if it's better than Dragapult or Darkrai in Draft League, but I just couldn't resist to not pick this up, so I decided to go with it. As you can see from its stats, it has insane stats. Its bulk is incredible. 105 HP, 121 defense is incredible, and then 93 SPDF isn't bad either. Also has a solid speed tier in 91, as well as having a super strong base 115 attack stat. This mon looks like it can do a lot with both its offensive capabilities and its defensive capabilities. Obviously, offensively, having access to moves like Dragon Dance to help boost it to sweep, Dragon Claw, Heat Crash, Flare Blitz, it's got a lot it can do offensively. And then obviously defensively, it has Morning Sun, which is great for reliable recovery. And then also has its new signature move, Burning Bulwark, which is pretty much protect, except if they hit with a physical contact move, then they get burned, which is super cool. So yeah, I feel like this mon's going to be super annoying for my opponent with how strong it is offensively and how annoying it's going to be for them to take down defensively. I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. Items wise, heavy duty boots works really well on this, but there are a lot of other options you could do as well. It's really I feel like this mon can do just about anything. So I'm excited to use this mon and getting to see its full capabilities throughout the season. With my second pick, I decided to go for Quaquaval. Now, if there's one thing I learned from last season of the MML, going into it, I didn't think not having the best hazard removal options would be a bad thing, seeing heavy duty boots is a thing. But obviously in this league, you can only have one item per team, so you can't double up on heavy duty boots. Therefore, removal is kind of essential. And you saw throughout the season, last time I picked up Glamora to help. And yeah, I think that was very useful, but I really wanted to get good hazard removal off the bat. And I was considering going like Great Tusk or something, or even Iron Treads. But I decided to go Quaquaval in the end. Why? Because I love this mon. It's so cool, and its snowballing capabilities are insane. Obviously gives me a rapid spinner as well, which is super nice. It's one of the better removal options you can get, and why I will not want to be bringing this as rapid spin every week. Just having it there as a nice solid option is really good. Like I said, offensively, this thing can snowball super fast thanks to its ability Moxie and its signature move Aqua Step, giving a +1 speed boost, as well as when you pick up a KO, getting a +1 attack boost. So this mon can really get out of hand fast, and from what I've seen, even if you're not necessarily trying to sweep with it, it can just end up sweeping because of how crazy that combination is. With access to boosting moves such as Bulk Up, Swords Dance, it makes this thing even more threatening. Also got access to some really nice moves through the DLC. I believe it now has Knockoff and Flip Turn, which is super nice for it, and Triple Axle, I believe. I don't think it had that before. So yeah, those are some super nice moves for it that make it even stronger than what it already was. Also, it has reliable recovery and roost, which is super nice. So as you can see from my first 2 picks, I have reliable recovery on both of them, which I think is very important. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a very, very crucial mon throughout the season, and I'm so excited to use it. I love Quaquaval, so super looking forward to it. Next up, Enamorus. So I went with Enamorus here because A, I needed a strong special attacker with both my mons so far being physical. B, I wanted a solid fairy type. And C, I wanted a really strong breaker, which is exactly what Enamorus is, with base 135 special attack and 106 speed. Is a really solid speed tier. So this kind of gave me exactly what I was looking for here. It adds to my Dragon Fairy Steel Core now with Gouging Fire, so that's really nice. Gives me a flying type too, which is solid to have. You definitely want a flying type. And yeah, I wanted a really good offensive fairy, and that's exactly what this is. Like I said, super strong breaker. Obviously not the most versatile mon, but Moonblast plus Earth Power for coverage is all you really need. So I'm definitely looking forward to using it this season. Another mon that I really like, and yeah, obviously the new genie, so it should be fun to try out. Next up, I decided to get Ting Lu. I needed some bulk. I was considering drafting this in the EBA, but didn't get it, so I've gone with it here. Really, really good mon overall. Just so solid. I mean, it gives me a dark type and a ground type, which are both crucial in draft, I feel. And just looking at its bulk, like 155 HP, 125 defense, 80 special defense, combined with its ability, Vessel of Ruin, which increases its special bulk, is really, really nice. Making it so I can use this thing physically defensive, specially defensive, or even mixed in that sense. And then also with 110 attack, this thing is no slouch offensively either. Can be used really solid offensively. I saw Viz use a cool weakness policy set with it last season in SPL. So yeah, this thing's definitely a threat offensively too. It's not like it can't do anything offensively. So yeah, I think it's great on both sides in that regard. Also gives me hazards, which is super important. Gives me rocks and spikes. Currently at this stage, I had no hazards. So getting both rocks and spikes on this, I think is really nice. Definitely looking forward to using this mon. With the 5th pick, I decided to go for Jirachi. I've wanted to draft this mon for such a long time and never have. So I finally decided to pick it up here. Super, super cool mon. Obviously, you know how annoying Jirachi is with Serene Grace plus Iron Head plus Scarf or whatever. This thing is so good and so versatile. Base 100s across the board. Can do absolutely anything you want with it. Gives me a really solid steel type to complete my Dragon Fairy steel. I think I have one of the best Dragon Fairy steels in the league with Gouging Fire, Enamorous, and Jirachi. So that's really nice there. Also gives me a Psychic type. Yeah, there's just so much you can do with Jirachi. You can run it physically, you can run it specially. Obviously gives me another rocker as well, which is great. We're adding to that hazards, pivoting and U-turn. And yeah, really just the possibilities are endless. So finally got my hands on Jirachi and can't wait to see what I can do with it this season, because I love this mon also. Like, all the mons I have drafted this season, I love. Like, not only are they great just competitively wise, but also just design and how much I like the mon. Like, I love all these mons I've drafted. So yeah, Jirachi really adds as a nice complement to this team. Pick 6, I went with Lycanroc Dusk. This is a really, really cool mon that I'm excited to try out. Gives me some nice speed, which currently to this point, I think my fastest is Enamorous at 106. Then we have Jirachi at 100, obviously. So now getting something that's a really solid speed tier and base 110 is nice. With the 117 attack Tough Claws, gives me a really strong physical breaker to go along with Enamorous as a special breaker. And yeah, Lycanroc's just really cool. I've never used it before, so excited at that. Gives me another rocket also to go along with Ting Lu and Jirachi. So we're really building up the rocks options so we're not limited. And then yeah, also this thing with Tough Claws hits super, super strong. Obviously has great priority in a Cell Rock, which is going to be really handy. And yeah, you can do a lot with this thing. Banded, Scarfed, I mean, there's a lot you can do with it. Sash even, like, got some good options with this for sure. Can also boost its attack with Swords Dance as well and be a sweeper. So yeah, this thing can play multiple different roles. Just a really strong physical attacker that my team needed, so I really like that. Speaking of speed, we went with Hisuian Electrode next. All the speed in one here. Base 150, absolutely ridiculous. I think it's one of, if not the fastest mon there is. So being able to pick that up is really nice. As I said, I was struggling with speed outside of Lycanroc at this point. So getting something base 150 is super nice for me. And yeah, this mon's just really good. I didn't have an electric or a grass. I was considering between this and Jolteon, but in a league where anything can Terra, I don't necessarily know how often I would Terra Jolteon, so being able to have something that can hit ground types like Electrode can because of its grass typing with Leaf Storm and such is really cool, so that I'm not forced to like Terra this in any specific scenario. I mean, obviously dragons would still be a problem, but that's not too bad. I don't think. Actually has some pretty nice abilities in Soundproof, Static, and Aftermath. Any one of those could be useful in any given scenario, so yeah, there are options there. Obviously not the greatest special attack stat, but it's fine. You mainly use this thing for its speed, its pivoting and volt switch, and yeah, obviously I can still Terra this if I feel the need to. So yeah, I mean, I just really needed speed at this point, and this fit the build perfectly along with the typing, so that's why I've decided to go with it. An old face rejoining. I had Glamora last season in the MML. I picked it up about halfway, quarter way through, because like I said earlier, my hazard removal was not great. So yeah, I picked it up again here. I was actually planning to go Wheezing Galar here like I have in EBA, but that did get sniped just before me, so Glamora is what I went with, as I needed a grounded poison at this point. Obviously we double up on the rock typing with Lycanroc, but that's not too big of a problem at all. And I love this because it also gives me Mortal Spin, so I have two really reliable hazard removal options now with Quaquaval and Glamora, which is really nice. Like I said, last season, not having the best hazard removal options definitely hurt my team, so having two solid ones this time I think is really good. I mean, you saw what this thing could do last season. It's crazy strong with base 130 special attack. Its ability is super nice in Toxic Debris. Corrosion can also work as well, can be annoying. And yeah, it just gives me more hazards as well. Another spiker, Toxic Spikes, Rocks, gives me all the hazards in one. That way one of Tinglu or Glamora can focus on the hazards, which is cool. And yeah, just a really solid mon. Another really good Scarf option, and I loved using it last season. I think we only scratched the surface of its potential, so to have it back for a full season this time should be really fun. So looking forward to that. As you can see, for my next pick, I decided to go for Drifblim. Drifblim is such a cool mon. Again, another mon I love. It's so nice. Its shiny is so nice, and honestly fits the team really well. Gives me another flying type, which is good, but more importantly gives me a ghost type. I have lots of hazards options. Now I have a really great spin blocker in Drifblim here. This mon can actually do so much. I mean, you see its incredible base 150 HP. Obviously the defenses aren't great, but the 150 HP helps so much in that sense. So yeah, I mean, this thing can do a lot. Base 80 speed, base 90 special attack. That's not bad at all. You have good boosting options in the likes of Calm Mind. You can run it with a lot of different items to activate Unburden, which can make it an actual really scary sweeper as well. So yeah, another mon with Aftermath too, so that could help. And even Flare Boost could be cool. Like, given the right scenario, maybe Flare Boost can put in work. So yeah, I actually think this is a really good Terra mon as well. Like, terraing this could be really nice for my team. Like, yeah, there's just a lot of options that I can do with this. Like I said, can definitely have the potential to sweep and just be annoying in general for my opponent. With the likes of Strength Sap and stuff, can be just an annoying mon for my opponents to deal with. Also, it gives me another removal option with Defog, so now we have, like I said, Quaquaval and Glamora with Mortal Spin and Rapid Spin, and now we have Defog on Drifblim. So we have options this season, which is very important. So yeah, Drifblim here I feel is a really good pickup. It was only 4 points, I believe, and I think that's kind of a steal. So yeah, this was a really good pickup. For my 10th pick, I decided to go with the Dunsparce. I could not believe this mon was still here. Honestly, I was considering picking this up way earlier. Like, this is such a good mon. I've seen Emby use it to great success. I've seen J-Bear use it to great success. Like, this thing can do so much. Also, another really good Terra option as well. I mean, you see this thing's Bolt base 125 HP with 80 and 75 in defenses. So it can go either specially defensive or physically offensive. And then also, it's really good offensively too, with the ability to set up in Coil and Calm Mind. Has reliable recovery in Roost, so another reliable recovery mon. And yeah, actually hits pretty hard too with like Boom Burst, Earth Power. Can go both physically offensive or specially offensive, which is really cool. And with this thing, basically all you need is a Troupple Berry on it. Like, just run this with Troupple Berry every week and it's going to tank hits from anything, so that's super cool. And I think it's going to be a really annoying Pokemon for my opponent to take down. Also has a really nice move pool as well, which is cool. So yeah, overall I think this is a really solid mon. The fact that I got it round 10, I was so happy with. So that was awesome. And for my final pick, I went with Kricketune. It was the only thing in 1 point that got sticky webs, so I went with it. There's not much more to say about this, but yeah, sticky webs, I guess. So that is going to be my draft for Season 4 of the MML. I hope you guys like it. I think this is probably my best draft yet so far out of all 3 that I've done since returning. But let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for week 1 of the MML. Peace.